It's actually really funny, and a lot of people don't know this, but Fortnite started off as a zombie survival game.
Makes sense. I mean, you're collecting things so you could fight something.
Right.
Building towers. You're
Right.
collecting survival stuff.
Right.
Gear, ammo, food.
Right. But it was only that.
Yeah, hiding places. Learning how to jump a bunch so you can jump away.
So there was no battle royale. The things that you see your kids play.
Yeah, it's all battle royale.
It didn't exist. That was not the game when it first came out, and I remember this so well because I was working at GameStop when that game came out, Fortnite. And when I worked at GameStop, I was allowed to take games and try them out at home so that I can sell them, essentially. And I took Fortnite home and I tried it out, and it sucked.
Yeah.
It was so trash. It was the worst game I ever played in my life. It was so mundane, so boring, and just so poorly made.
Right.
It was just there was just zombies, and you were just building a fort to fight off zombies. Like, oh wow, that's never happened before. Cool concept, guys. Boring as hell.
But then the battle royale thing took off.
So there was another game that came out before that had its own battle royale called PlayerUnknown's Battleground. And the reason why it's called PlayerUnknown is because that was the guy who made the game. His name is PlayerUnknown. That was his username.
Yeah.
And
He's friends with Unspeakable.
Unspeakable?
I'm joking.
Oh. And so he had a battle royale that came out, but this was only on PC. So it was limited to a very specific market. PC gamers and console gamers are two completely different things.
Oh, I know.
Right. Right. So this game came out in Epic, the creators of Fortnite. They sat back and thought, oh, hold on, this is starting to gain a lot of traction, and we have a failed game already with a perfect infrastructure for that exact style of gameplay. So they made Fortnite Battle Royale.
That's cool.
And they made it free too. And Fortnite...
That's true. Yeah.
So Fortnite was the game to actually basically revolutionize free games. There was a couple other ones that came about, and they were free to play, and they had their own in-game currency. You know, you can buy stuff in the game and whatnot, cosmetics, and whatever. And then you had games with memberships and whatnot. Like, that's always been around.
Right.
But Fortnite was a full-fledged game that you could play forever, not spend a dime, completely free. And that totally changed the entire gaming space after that.
What did they get out of it?
Everything. It didn't matter that it was free. Like, no, it mattered a lot, because that meant that anybody can get it.
But
So
how did they make their money then?
in-game purchases, in-game skins.
That's right. They got all those stupid things. That's right.
Yeah, in-game cosmetics and everything like that.
So you want to see your dude dance in the clothes.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things. It's getting people through the door. That's all it took. That's literally all it took for them to create one of the greatest games of all time. It was just to get people in the door. It was just to make it, hey guys, this is free. You can play it all you want. But we're going to make it so enticing for you and for kids and everybody who plays this game that you're going to want to give us your money. And think of this as well. We've been conditioned as gamers to spend money always to play a game. That's always been a thing. So now imagine yourself like, oh man, I'm playing this free game. Like, sure, I'll spend $30 to get a really cool skin and whatnot. And then you start falling into this rabbit hole of absolute mayhem and chaos and just self-destruction. It starts turning bad, because then you have things called loot boxes that actually, they're gambling. It's gambling, but you get nothing in return. And then you start going, and then it gets worse and worse.
What you do, man? You lose a bunch of money with loot boxes?
No, God, no. I've never, ever do that. Never, ever. God, no.
You look like you're lying.
I'm totally not. Absolutely not. I wouldn't.
All right.
I care too much about my financial stuff to spend money on a.
You just feel bad for people that got ripped off? You seem pretty emotional about this.
See,
really bummed out.
I mean, this is a whole nother thing. This is a whole nother thing where it's gotten to the point where it's actually affected video games. Okay, here's the actual reason why I say all this with such a heavy heart. So Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I've always loved Star Wars. My Star Wars tattoos and everything. Love it. Love it to death. This entire business model that they introduced into video games where you can gamble your money away for a video game cosmetic literally worth zilch, that started to become a much more commonplace. Activision Blizzard, of course, they adopted the exact same thing in the game called Overwatch.
Right.
And they did this, and Fortnite keeps doing this, and now a lot more games are doing this. A lot more games, because they're starting to realize, holy cow, Epic is making all the money. Epic's making all the money, and their game sucks, but they did it first. So they're going to keep making money. So now a lot more games are doing this. And now...
I predict the model won't continue. Am I wrong?
You're 100,000% wrong.
Really? So
yes, and I'll tell you.
Wildfire.
I'll tell you exactly why you're wrong. And that's the worst part. I wish I didn't. I wish I could tell you that you're wrong. You're not wrong. That's the worst part. I'll tell you why. So EA, there's a reason why EA has such a terrible reputation now. They're money grubby sons of. All they want is money. They want their games to make so much money. That's all they want, and it sucks. That's an actual market selling point for a lot of indie developers now, because they will market their game as, hey, you pay us $40, $30, $60 for this game, and we will release you free DLC and free this and free that. All you got to do is play the game. Like, that's an actual marketing thing now. That used to be how games were sold.
Right.
Now it's an actual marketing thing. So EA, back in 2016, 17, I was working at GameStop when this happened. They came out with Star Wars Battlefront 2, the sequel to their 2015 Star Wars Battlefront game, which was extremely lackluster because they decided to milk their audience with DLC content that you had to continue to pay. So you had $60 right off the bat, and then, this DLC that's coming out in 3 months. You got to pay an extra $20 if you want to play it. The other 3 that we're going to release, $20 each one. So for Battlefront 2, because Fortnite had already become so popular and their business model is starting to work within the gaming space, EA decided to make Battlefront 2 a one-time $60 purchase, and then they marketed this. They said all of our constant DLC upgrades, everything, going to be completely free. Yay! And the game came out and it looked really good. What was the problem with this game?
People didn't. Yeah, they didn't have the gambling aspect anymore.
No, they had the gambling aspect. Well,
that was wrong.
Before Star Wars Battlefront 2, when you spent money in a game, it was purely cosmetic. It had no effect on gameplay, which is a concept called pay to win.
Sure.
You can that's what divides the player base.
Yeah, that's old school stuff.
Kind of.
That's old school, man. That's old video games, dude. That was like
What video game did that?
everything at the arcade when I was a kid.
How?
Because if you had money, you could keep playing.
No, I'm not talking about keep playing. I'm talking about a literal advantage towards the people that you're playing against.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. That destroys a game system.
But haven't people been buying characters off each other for like decades now?
Purely cosmetic.
Really? Purely all cosmetic?
Those have nothing to do with the actual gameplay.
Really? All those like WoW characters and stuff that you build up and people resell?
Okay, no. That's okay. MMORPGs are not a part of this gaming space.
Okay.
They're not a part of it. Yeah, you can totally buy a character that you've been working on, but at the same time, you're working on that character. You're spending time on that character. Imagine
You've worked for it.
Right.
All right.
And then, of course, there's the people who will go out of their way, like, I don't want to waste my time doing this. I'll just buy an account.
Sure. And they didn't just supply the thing. You had to build it and then sell it.
Right. Or hack it.
So now you can just straight pay the money and have a dude that just destroys everything.
Or you can, in Star Wars Battlefront 2's instance, you can have perks that allow you to gain specific bonuses and pluses to your gameplay.
Cool. So now it just works like real life. So
Exactly. Video games shouldn't be like real life. There's a reason why they're so appealing, because they're not like real life. That's why. So now you have this space where, and then you're talking about casual play. Like, video games are used for casual play. A lot of people use video games to play casually. So now you have this video game it's a Star Wars title. Everybody's excited about it because it's Star Wars and everybody loves Star Wars. But now you have this built-in infrastructure where people can spend $500 plus for the best perks and beat anybody.
Oh, this sounds fun to me, actually. Now, maybe I'm interested.
Oh, well, now you can't do it anymore
Why?
because they took it out.
No.
Because now Battlefront 2 got banned from specific countries for this because it's gambling. It's gambling. You spend a certain amount of money to get something that you don't know what it is, and it benefits you in some way, shape, or form. Not monetarily, sure, but it does benefit you, your gameplay, your ego, whatever.
Right.
So they banned this because a lot of kids were just nosediving into this brand new thing that normally kids wouldn't experience until
Mom, can I
they're...
have $500?
They would no.
I got to beat this dude. You have no idea.
So actually, and then it gets a bit worse, and we're still talking about the vein of EA, where now EA has all, sport games exist, right? Okay, so EA, they make all the sport games and whatnot. They have one game called, it's FIFA. You know FIFA, right? Okay, in FIFA, you can actually spend money to buy good soccer players. So that's how they actually make the majority of their money, from people spending thousands and thousands of dollars to just get Messi. Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's addiction. That's a slot machine. That's a slot machine. It's the exact same.
Yeah, but you don't win anything except for soccer games online.
That is something. That is something you win. That is something as an individual. If you value your satisfaction as a human being that low, that's still something. That's still impactful in that way. Like, it's the same as gambling. It's just literally the same as going to a casino and throwing away money.
Well, you're paying for dopamine hits.
Right.
Starting to be a trend here.
Yeah. And they're starting to stop it. They're trying to stop it, but it's hard.
Why would they try to stop it? Just let the free market decide.
Because it's affecting parents a lot more than you think.
Who cares about these parents? We got video game problems?
No, not the parents, the kids.
Oh, well, turn the off.
Yeah.
If my kids are playing something I don't like, I throw it away.
No,
delete it.
Here's the worst part. There, you can look this up. It's crazy. There's so many stories of little Timmys going to their mom's wallet, grabbing her credit card, and spending thousands.
That's rad.
Yeah. That's any game, especially Fortnite.
It better be on my credit card instead of my debit card. I'm pretty sure you can get it back if it's your credit card.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure kids don't care the difference. I'm pretty sure they're not. The credit card. Let's look for the debit. I'm pretty sure they don't care.
I know.
Yeah, but so it's doing that. So now, of course, parents are gonna interject and really get their noses into this. And once you have parents who are not going to buy these games for their kids anymore, what happens to the market? It starts to suffer. It starts to go downhill, and it starts to, yeah. So now what they're doing instead is they're releasing the percentage rates, the odds for you to get what you want out of this, instead of it being completely random.
This all sounds like work. That's what I'm saying, man.
It's a lot of work.
This is video games. It's like a job.
I know, but it's crazy. It's just nuts.
No thanks.
I
don't want to do it.
This is like the one thing that I know so well because I actually invest time into learning this and just keeping up with it, because I don't know why either. I really don't have any sort of like vested interest in how these things do. I just like knowing what the hell's going on.
I don't get it. It's just something you're into.
Yeah.